Hi everyone. So I want to talk about two concepts. One is what I call flat earth medicine, and the other is a new name that I'm talking about now, and that's regenerative medicine. What's the difference? And what do I mean by regenerative medicine? So the whole concept of flat earth medicine is an idea that was developed sometime long time ago, when people still believe that, some people, not everyone, but some people believe that the earth was flat. In fact, there's evidence that early humans actually knew the world was round, and that's without even traveling around the world. They just knew the world had to be round. But nevertheless, somewhere along the way, some people started to talk about flat earth medicine and that there was an edge, and that somehow you could fall off the edge. So those very brave sailors that sailed towards the edge and discovered that there was no edge is another story. So flat earth medicine is a little bit like the idea of a flat earth, the idea that somehow there is an edge, that there's a boundary, and that we can't go over that boundary. So we need to just stay where we are and be careful of going towards the great unknown. That's scary. So flat earth medicine for me is the same idea. It's kind of putting an edge to the whole concept of medicine, what healing is about. And let's stay over here, because to go to that edge is dangerous. We could make lots of mistakes. We could get lost. We could even die. So flat earth medicine holds within that concept the edge. And the conventional medical model, in a way, is what I'm calling flat earth medicine. And why? Because they've created a boundary. They've created an edge they don't want to cross. And that edge on this side is the conventional model of that there are, this is what we know, let's investigate what we know over here, what we can measure, what we can weigh, what we can feel and touch. That is the so-called objective world, and that objective world has clear boundaries to it, and scientists need to stick to what can be measured and seen. And that's flat earth understanding for me. It's flat earth science, it's flat earth medicine, where we put a boundary, an edge to where we want to go. So flat earth medicine treats the human being as an object that can be weighed and measured. That's flat earth. The idea that somehow there is that edge. And that's why, in a kind of way, it's been held to that edge by the companies that run the model. And they are the pharmaceutical companies and a lot of the professionals that align themselves with that idea and don't want to go past it. So we have specialists, and we have those specialists have protocols, and the protocols are ones that specialists need to follow, because if you don't follow the protocol and you try to move out of that flat earth idea, you can run into serious trouble. So that's how they maintain this model, this paradigm of the flat earth, using protocols, using science that can measure the objective world, which is the body. And so the human being is reduced to this body, this matter body, that has an edge to it, because they don't want to go past the matter part of it, the objective part of it, because that's where they can be in control. That's what they can know, and that's what they can measure. So the human being has been reduced to a machine which can be taken apart, examining the parts. I've discussed all this before, and how that's reductionistic. It's objective, it's reductionistic, reducing the human being to a machine which can be measured and weighed and manipulated and controlled. And that's called symptomatic medicine. So that's why, in a kind of way, I broke away from that understanding into what's called the integrative model. And the integrative model took another step further around, okay, we need to go a little bit deeper. But even the integrative model tends to hold on to that edge. Nobody wants to go over that edge. That edge is serious, going past the edge. Now, what is there on the other side? Well, on the other side, there is what has been left out of the objective world, and that is all our subjective world, reality. So the subjective components of a human being, the subjective components even of the scientist, tend to be dismissed as subjective, and therefore we can leave it out, and that's the edge. So the edge is what is objective and can be measured. On the other side of the edge, where nobody wants to go because it's a big mystery, is the subjective, and all the things we can't really measure. So, and because it's held tightly by this biochemical paradigm, so we don't want to go past this biochemical paradigm either, because we're getting to the edge again. Because what's on the other side of the biochemical paradigm? What is on the other side of the paradigm? The biochemistry is what can be measured as objective. And on the other side, we get into the more difficult area of, for example, energy and information and emotions and thinking and feeling and all these kinds of things that really make us human. That's what makes us human, not biochemistry. Biochemistry doesn't make us the human being that we are. It's the stuff that's sitting behind it. It's over the edge, as it were, into that deep recess of the human beingness, where the interest is, where the beauty is, where the art is, where the mystery is. We're all mysterious beings. We don't really know who we are. So that's the trouble, what's happened in medicine today, and why I call it flat earth medicine, because it keeps having that edge, which is driven by biochemistry and pharmaceutical companies, all trying to hold on to this sense of being in control. Because on the other side, we get lost. We get into the subjective, and that subjective side can't be measured because it's subjective and it's complex. So the whole question then about healing, and that's why I love this word that's coming to me called regenerative medicine. Now it's interesting, regenerative does have an understanding in the conventional model, but that's where they deal with stem cells. And stem cells, of course, is where regeneration seems to be able to happen. And so the conventional model does have a word for regenerative medicine when it comes to stem cells. But I'm seeing it as a much more deeper, holistic understanding of regeneration. Because what's the opposite of regeneration is degeneration. So degeneration is where life is moving downwards. Regeneration is the opposite, where things are regenerated, where the life force is regenerated, where the spiritual journey comes in, where the sense of wonder and awe is there in that human being. That's regenerative medicine. And so for me, this concept of regeneration, restoration, enlargement, stimulation of the vital force, all these kinds of ideas that have always been around, but on the other side, over the edge. So one has to get over the edge and dive into that great unknown to understand what I'm talking about when I talk about regenerative medicine, because it's not just about restoring the matter body. Human beings are not a matter body only. We are an energy field. We are an informational dynamics. We have an astonishing intelligence that's operating in this human being that maintains balance. So health is where regeneration happens. Health is where the body can heal. It's health heals. So while we need to be focused on that which is healthy, that's where the regeneration happens. If we can stimulate, as it were, regeneration in the body, in the energy informational field, and create a harmony, a realignment, that regeneration. And that's why I love this word, regenerative medicine, and I'm going to be using it more and more. So, yeah, keep it in mind. Flat earth medicine, that's not going to do real healing. Treating, Symptomatic treatment, yeah. There's a place for it, absolutely a place for it. But to move into really real regenerative medicine, it's not just a question of stem cells. It's going much deeper. Have a beautiful week.